will the president's legislation have on the state of West Virginia the people who put him in office? Well, I'm going to discuss that right now with West Virginia Attorney General John McCuskey. Now, I should say that state attorneys general play a significant role in reshaping healthcare policy across the country. So, General, thank you so much for being here. 38% of people on Medicaid in West Virginia are not working, meaning that they could lose insurance if they can't meet certain work requirements. The president of the West Virginia Rural Health Association told the Washington Post that this puts at least 5 hospitals at risk of immediate closure. Here's what they said, quote, "In a lot of our communities, the hospital is the economic driver. So if we don't have a hospital to provide care, other businesses aren't going to want to locate in those communities." How are you going to work to ensure that that doesn't happen, both in terms of health care and the business impact?
Yeah, and thank you so much for having me, Dana. And I think it is important to recognize what a huge victory this is for the president today. And here in West Virginia, we have a payer mix that is unacceptable. We need to have less West Virginians that are on Medicare and Medicaid, and we need to raise up those who are struggling into the middle class. And I think there's a lot in this bill specifically for West Virginia as it relates to coal and oil and gas that is going to enable us to reinvigorate our economy and have less people that are reliant on these programs in the first place. But to answer your specific question, a couple of things have happened in this bill that I think make some of this hyperbolic language maybe a little overstated. The first is that we have a runway on the provider tax, and that's going to give our rural hospitals an amount of time for them to enable themselves to reform their funding streams to maintain their ability to care for the people in West Virginia. The second thing is that we have a $50 billion fund that is designed to help ease this new bill into the economy here in West Virginia. I don't anticipate any immediate problems for any folks who are entirely needy of these programs. What I do see is that this bill is likely going to ask some folks to be part of the process, to either go and get a job or to be looking for a job or to volunteer in order to maintain these benefits that so many other hardworking West Virginians every single day are paying to provide.
So you said there's a runway. I think what you're referring to is the fact that there are a few years, I think 3 years before some of these cuts are implemented. What makes you so sure that these rural hospitals, who are in many cases strapped to begin with, even with the current formula of funding, can actually reform in such a way that they can still help those who need it the most in your state?
What makes me so sure is my personal relationships with the people that run these hospitals. I'm in constant communication with these folks, and they are really wonderful, amazing people who have a mission. And people who have a mission to care for people in West Virginia, and there's just something about the people here that we do not allow our mission to be derailed by anything. And what they'll do is they'll take the new rules and everything that's in this bill, and they will digest it, and we'll figure out a pathway forward. But what I know is that the vitriolic language that comes out of our politics these days doesn't do anything to help this. What we see is Congress people accusing their colleagues of killing their neighbors, right? That's not what this is doing. And we know for a fact that Congress people are never trying to do that. This bill is trying to change what has been a generational problem where we were going to lose funding for these programs eventually anyways. And so this is, I believe, a really great first step in finding pathways to get not only people back into, will ensure that our rural hospitals have the funding they need and the time they need to make sure that they're viable going forward.
So that's one aspect. Another, as you know, is SNAP, formerly known as food stamps. According to the Senate on Budget and Policy Priorities, 16% of West Virginia's population is on SNAP. The question for you is, given the reforms, cuts in SNAP, how are you going to be sure that West Virginians who need it are going to maintain their ability to get the assistance that they need in order to eat?
Yeah, in 2023, our state legislature passed work requirements for SNAP here in West Virginia, and all the same arguments that you're hearing coming out of the left today were set forth in our House chamber here in West Virginia, and none of the catastrophic results have manifested themselves. West Virginia has long had a history, unfortunately, of poverty. And again, what we really want is less people to need SNAP. And I believe that this bill doesn't do anything to harm those who truly need it now and will do so much to help to raise the standard of living for people here in West Virginia that hopefully that number, which is catastrophic, 63% of people in West Virginia on SNAP, which is, really a direct result of a lot of the war on our natural resources industries that are addressed in this bill. What you'll see is that the people that truly need it are still going to have access to it. And we're hopefully going to be raising the standard of living for so many people in West Virginia that won't be a program that they need.
West Virginia Attorney General John McCuskey, thank you so much for being here today. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much, and happy 4th to everybody out there.